Derek was a man everyone envied. He wore the best clothes, drove fancy cars, and lived in a luxurious house in the city. People said he had a golden touch. Every business he touched turned into gold. But what they didn't know was that Derek's wealth came with a price. A dark price. Every 5 years, Derek had to perform a deadly ritual. It was the only way to keep his riches and remain in power. The rule was simple. Find a woman who truly loved him, live with her, and when the time came, perform the ritual. The ritual was given to him by an old herbalist named Baba Tund. Baba Tund was feared in the spiritual world. He had given Derek a knife. Not just any knife, but one that had been washed in the blood of past sacrifices. When the chosen woman was asleep, Derek had to raise the knife above her head and place it on her forehead 3 times, gently, without hurting her. That act would invite a dark spirit into her body. She would begin to fall sick, and in a few months, she would die. That's when the spirits would reward Derek with more money, more power, and more success. He had done it before, and it always worked. But everything changed when Derek met Amara. Amara was nothing like the women Derek had dated before. She wasn't rich or famous. She didn't wear flashy clothes. She was quiet, soft-spoken, and deeply wounded by life. But she had a beautiful heart. Her parents died in a car crash when she was 10. She had no siblings. Her uncle took her in, but only to take over her father's business and house. At first, they pretended to love her. But as soon as the ownership papers were signed over, everything changed. They treated her like a slave, insulted her, and eventually threw her out. Amara struggled through life, moving from one small job to another, trying to survive. She didn't trust people easily. But when she met Derek, something felt different. He was kind, patient, and for the first time, she felt seen. Derek, on the other hand, saw Amara as a perfect target. She had no family, no one to look out for her, and she didn't even seem like the prayerful type. He thought to himself, this one will be easy. The spirits will be pleased. Their relationship grew quickly. Derek took her shopping, gave her money, and made her feel safe. Amara began to smile again. She started dreaming of marriage, of starting a new life. She believed she had finally found her prince. But midnight was coming. The day of the ritual had arrived. Derek sharpened the ritual knife and stood by her bedside. She looked so peaceful, lying there asleep. Slowly, he raised the knife. Just as he was about to place it on her forehead, Amara opened her eyes. "Derek," she said, half awake, "what are you doing?" Derek froze. His heart pounded. "Nothing, love. I thought I heard something. Just checking." He waited a few more nights, then tried again. Once more, just as he raised the knife, Amara's eyes opened. This happened 4, 5, 6 times. Each time, Amara would wake up just as he was about to perform the ritual. It had never happened before. Ever. Disturbed, Derek returned to Baba Tund. "This one won't sleep through it," Derek said. "She wakes up every single time." Baba Tund looked at him with narrowed eyes. He picked up his cowries and bones, dropped them on the mat, and studied them. Then he said slowly, "You can't touch this one. She's protected." "Protected?" Derek asked, confused. "She doesn't even go to church. She never prays." "It's not about her," Baba Tund said. "It's her mother. Before her mother died, she prayed deeply for Amara's future. She asked God to protect her daughter always. Those prayers are still alive. They're like a wall around her. That's why she wakes up. The spirits can't enter. You must leave her alone." Derek left the shrine angry and confused. But deep inside, he was scared. This had never happened before. So he ended things with Amara. He didn't give her a reason. One day, he simply told her it was over. Amara was shattered. She had given him her heart. After everything she had been through, this love felt like her last chance at happiness. She cried for days. She stopped eating. She even thought about ending her life. One afternoon, as she walked the streets with no plan, she passed by a small church. She entered, not because she was looking for God, but because she was thirsty. She saw a jug of water at the back of the church and went in to drink. That's when Pastor Elijah noticed her. "You look tired, my dear," he said gently. "Come and sit." She sat, still quiet. Then he said something that made her look up. "You may not believe it, but God has been protecting you. Someone tried to harm you, but heaven stood in their way." Amara stared at him. "How do you know that?" "I don't," he replied. "But God does. You're not here by accident." Tears rolled down her face. Suddenly, the strange nights when she saw Derek standing over her, the fear, the confusion, it all made sense. That day, she gave her life to Christ. Her healing began. Meanwhile, Derek tried to continue his rituals. He dated other women, tried to perform the sacrifice, but nothing worked. The spirits had stopped answering him. Worse, people started noticing a strange pattern. Every woman who dates that man dies. Families began to whisper. Friends started avoiding him. Women stopped returning his calls. So he began moving, from city to city, trying to hide. But then one day, the sister of one of his victims exposed him on social media. She shared photos, stories, and connected the dots. The post went viral. People were angry. Women spoke out. His name was everywhere. Derek rushed to Baba Tund, begging for help. But Baba Tund said, "You were warned. You tried to kill the untouchable. Now the spirits are angry. I can't help you." From that moment, everything fell apart. Derek's mind began to break. He started hearing voices. He walked the streets barefoot, talking to himself, shouting at invisible people. The man who once wore designer suits and lived in a mansion was now sleeping on sidewalks, covered in dirt. The rituals he used for wealth had turned against him. And Amara. She became a counselor for abused girls. She told her story in churches, youth meetings, and conferences. Her voice gave hope to the hopeless. She often said, "Sometimes, God saves us without us even knowing. The prayers of someone who loved you, like a mother, can still protect you long after they are gone." That's how I survived. Today, Amara is strong. Not because life has been easy, but because grace found her. And Derek? He's still out there, roaming the streets. A ghost of the man he once was. A sad reminder that no one walks with darkness forever, without paying the price.